Whew. Oh my goodness. I'm super sorry that I'm late. What time is it anyway? 11 after. Whew. Okay. Really sorry about that. I was here in plenty of time and got ready, but my software was being real glitchy and I was having a hard time getting everything connected and set up. And the internet, of course, is not great right now in the studio. So there's that. Hopefully, I'm not too glitchy or whatever, or stopped. I do on the tabletop view that I'm going to show you in a minute. That is using cellular data, so hopefully that won't, you know, pause or be glitchy. I'm so sorry. I haven't been live in a while, but I'm using the same software as always, and it just was being weird, and then I had to reboot my computer and whatever. So hopefully some friends can join, and if you're here, just say hi in the comments so we can chat. Really, really sorry I'm late. It's just the software was not cooperating at all. So anyway, hey mom, how are you? You're getting anxious. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was trying to get connected. It just really was not, didn't want to have, oh, see, it says failed to connect. Am I still alive? I hope I am. Also, the internet here is really not great right now. So yeah, hopefully you guys can still see me. Okay. Hey, Carol, how are you? I miss you guys. This week had to be at 5 because I have to go to booster meeting, choir booster meeting after this. But I think, but the next, excuse me, goodness, in the next 3 weeks, I can do it at 6 so that more people can join. Because I know some of you in Central Time are like some people just getting off work. And so I trying to be able to do it a little bit later. But this week wasn't possible. So anyway, it's nice to see you. We're just going to play with, we're just going to play and make something, but I wanted to talk about color and composition and elements of art and design, because I feel like a lot of people get stuck here. I talk to you guys all the time about, let's see, like different supplies to use and how to use them. And then we make something. If you're in my art journal club, I make you videos and teach you how to use the art supplies that we get in the art journal kit, and stuff like that. But sometimes, when you're making something, maybe you have an idea in your head and that doesn't really come out the way you think it should or that you wanted it to. A lot of times there's a question of like, why not? So generally, I would say that it comes down to composition or color, or something like that. Because if you have that down and you have a good handle on it, then you really can do anything. So I'm going to switch the view. I do have to stop around 6. It could be a little bit after so that I can get to my booster meeting. So I'm really sorry that I was late tonight, but I am going to be live every Wednesday for the month of March for National Craft Month. Happy National Craft Month. And so I'll be live every Wednesday. Like I said, I'll put out the live, the event links every week. So, and you can watch it on YouTube or Facebook. Oh, wait, my comments aren't displaying. You guys aren't seeing them. Why not? Oh. I'm seeing your comments, but they're not showing up here. I don't know. It could be the internet issues. So, it looks like the 2 people that are commenting right now are both on Facebook. I'm going to turn off the chat overlay so my screen's a little bit bigger. Oh, you see comments? Okay. Well, I'll turn it back on then. Yeah, I don't see them. I don't know. It must be because my internet is super slow. So let me just switch the views here, and then we can just start playing around. If you have questions, ask me questions, or if I'm not explaining something very well, just say, I don't get it, or like, can you explain more or something, and I'll try to catch those. I don't know how live the comments are. I'm going to test it right now. Mom, I'm saying hi. Can you say hi back to me right now so I can see the lag in time? So I know how long I have to wait to see your comment. That's nice and close. I just got that. Okay. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's only like maybe 10 or 15 seconds. So not too bad for me. Okay, so these I borrowed from someone else. These are not my, this is not my design, my layout for the principles of design or the elements of design. I borrowed it from someone, but I am working on my version of this, and I have a little bit more detail and some examples on mine. And that will be available probably closer to the end of the month. But anyway, I just wanted to have this to be able to talk about stuff and actually play with things and show you examples. I do have some example things. So real quick, we're going to just talk for a minute, and then we'll just play with some supplies and then see, you know, how it is for us. So the principles of design, I mean, these are 4 main ones. There are others, to be honest, but if you can, understand these along with the elements, then I really think that it will take you a long way. So contrast is really just, so let's look at examples while I'm talking about each of these. So definitely this is contrast. Contrast is having, it can be colors, tones or values, size and shape, direction. Okay, all of that is anything that is creating tension or dynamic like that. So contrast, this is a color contrast for sure. This blue and yellow are definitely contrasting colors here. So there's that. Let's see what else. This would be contrast in size and also in color. We've got the yellow and the blue and red together there. This is definitely contrasting. Hi, Renee, how are you? Black and white, of course, is contrast, right? And so that we that. And then, you know, a lot of these work in a lot of different ways. This is definitely, it's got contrast. It's got really bright white all the way to dark black. So there's that. So that is that's a pretty common one and a pretty easy one to identify and for you to create on your own. And I will say that artwork or images that are higher in contrast are generally more pleasing because they are more exciting to look at. Like even if you compare these two, this is higher contrast because there's lighter whites and darker blacks. And look at how this one is all kind of just in the middle. It's still really interesting because there's a lot of cool lines and other elements going on. But can you see how this is more just a lot of mid-tone, and it's less exciting by the tones only than something like that. So there's that. Let's see. Okay, then we have alignment, and that is really just if things are lined up or not. Let's see what we've got in here. This is a really good one for alignment. So everything is like, it's radial alignment, but everything is in a nice order. This is really alignment. Look at how these are nice and in a line here. So alignment definitely makes a difference. This actually is as well. And then we have repetition. I'm just going quickly because I do want to like play and make stuff with you, but I just want to give you some examples. So while we're making something, we can kind of talk about these things. Tell me, is this helpful for you? Is this something that's interesting, or are you just like, whatever, let's just make stuff? Let me know. Repetition is huge. I mean, there's so much here, even just with two shapes. Like we have the circles, we also have the hands. Okay, and we have the red and the red color, and with blue and the blue color. That's all repetition. Okay, this definitely repeating circles over and over, and then these like outer shapes, tons of repetition all through here. So much. All the lines, they don't have to be exactly the same to be repetition. Very helpful. Good. Okay, so there's that. And then proximity is really just, it's hard to teach proximity because it's a little bit ambiguous, but like this is the best way I could think of, and it's just plain old dots, I realize. But first, let's just look at this one. All these dots are pretty close together. So if you're just looking at this, your brain is going to group them all in one and sort of make it like a line or a dash, right? Because they're pretty close together, and your eye is just going to just group them automatically. Where if I cover this up and I show you this one, these lines these dots are much further apart. So they tend to be more individual. You know, we don't necessarily group these together because they're so far apart. So these would just be 3 dots. So I don't know if you can see the difference there, but proximity definitely makes a difference as far as how our brain connects things and how it either groups them like this or keeps them individual and separate. Okay, so then let's go to the elements of design. So really quickly, line, some of these we're not going to go over in great detail because you'll get it. But lines, this one is great for lines. If we look at this one a little bit closer, I mean, look at all the lines that are in here. First, we have these lines coming in here, which is drawing our eye into the canvas, right? Then we have these lines on the floor that are drawing us across. Then we have lines going up, straight up. And then we have these other lines in the background. I mean, there's lines everywhere and they're drawing us all over the place. So that one is really, really cool and pretty dynamic. This one obviously has lines, but they're all converging to an endpoint there. This has lines, and really it's all of these like 3D blocks that are coming out are creating lines all the way around. It's sort of a radial thing because it's making your eye look all the way around from this center point. Tell me if this makes sense or if you have more questions. Really even lines here, because this is having this pattern repeated in a sort of a straight line, even though it's diagonal, is a line. It's a leading line that guides you through across the canvas. This is a line. This circle, it's still a line. It's taking you around. Same thing here. This is a line here. They're not connected, and it's not just a line. They're hands, but it's a leading line drawing your eye back and forth. Up here, these are lines, and all of this stuff helps to draw your eye around the image and to make it a stronger piece. Okay, so all those are lines. Color, of course, we could talk like for hours about color, but just really quick, okay, we have analogous colors, which are colors that are similar to each other on the color wheel. Let's get the color wheel out really quick. Here's the color wheel. And I like this one because it's really basic. So the primaries are yellow, blue, and red, as we know, for paint. Okay, this is pigment color wheel. So we have those. Then blue and yellow make green. So this is a secondary color. Yellow and red make orange, secondary color. Red and blue make purple, secondary color. So you see these bigger circles are the primaries, and then they make a slightly smaller circle, which are the secondaries. And then these are the tertiaries, which are like a blue violet or a blue green or a yellow green, kind of like that. So that's that. And so if we're talking about contrasting colors, actual direct contrasting colors are blue and orange, because you can see that line just goes straight across. So whatever is straight across from it on the color wheel, it's direct contrasting color. So purple and yellow, red and green. Okay. So when we look at this one and we say these are analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. See, we've got blue and purple. They're next to each other here. So these would be analogous. Blue and green would be analogous. Yellow and orange would be analogous. Okay. And then these are warm colors and these are cool colors. All right. Enough of color. We can talk about color literally all day long. Texture. We deal with texture a lot with our pastes and stencils and like all the like actual physical texture, but you can even get texture just from a flat image. I mean, when you look at this, bring it up really close. Where am I? How does that make you feel? What do you think it would feel like? Rough, gritty, sandpaper, smooth, silky, feathery? I don't know. A million adjectives, right? But because of the way that it's been created, it provides a visual texture. I hope that makes sense. Like this one here. This one creates a certain type of texture. It's got the broken areas in the lines. You can see little dots in the black area. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? So nice to see you. This is more of a rough texture. Even though it's totally flat on the page, you can tell there's a rough texture there just because of the way that it's been created. So texture matters even if it's not physical tactile, you know, paste kind of texture. Shapes are very important. Let's look at both of these together. Shapes, repeating shapes make a big deal, make a difference. This is a repeating shape, even though it's a rectangle, right? It's just a really long rectangle. This is a repeating shape, even though this is just like a spiral. This is just a circle within a bigger circle within a bigger circle, you see? And same here and there and there. So shapes play a big role. Value is just light and dark, right? And tones, like I was talking about here. This is a great one for value. You've got really bright highlights and really dark contrast tones. And the more you have strong white to a dark black and all the gray in between, that's a more, what is the right word? That's a more in-depth kind of complex tonal range, and it provides more visual interest because it makes it look more 3D. Because this is just a flat circle, but because they have a lot of white here and a lot of dark here and a gradation in between, it makes it look like it could be a round circle. Hi, Sarah, how are you? Mom says designs that look kind of 3D have texture looks to me. Definitely, yes, for sure. Yeah, so that's awesome. Okay, and then we have space. Space is something that I think a lot of us maybe struggle with sometimes. Think about negative space. When we talk about that and we're like, leave an area blank. This is a really good one for this. Leave an area blank and just have a little bit going on. It says something. It creates a mood and a feeling. And so anyway, look at all this. And it doesn't have to be white. It could be black. It could be even a color. Look at all this negative space here, which is just within that circle. All right. So space is a big one. Do you want all the space to be filled up, and do you want it to be really tight and energized and you know, dynamic and kinetic, or do you want it to be more softer and more fluid and more easy to flow through? Kara's here. Hey, Kara. Sarah, I can't wait to see you either. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. Okay. Size is the last one, and then we'll just start playing and making stuff. But let's look at these two together. So here we go. This is a good one for size. This one is obviously much bigger. We know it's much bigger, even though we can't see the whole thing. Our brain is smart enough to finish the rest of it, right? Because we know what a circle looks like. And then this one's much smaller. And because they're repeating, it makes it stronger. Okay. So I think that's good. So that's really the basics of just designing, and you don't have to use all of these. Obviously, none of these I don't think used every single one, and you get to decide when you're starting, do I want something that's super dynamic? So I'm going to use contrasting colors and large and small sizes of things, and maybe have some diagonal leading lines or whatever. Or do I want something more calm and peaceful? Maybe I'm going to use, you know, analogous colors like blue and green, and maybe it's going to have just a couple of leading lines and soft and flowy. So as the artist, you get to decide what you're making and what you want it to look like and how you want it to be in the end. So I feel like I just like yelled through all of that. Not yelled, but talked really fast. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and let's make something. How's everybody doing? Miss you guys. March is so busy for me, but I was like, it's craft month and there's fun stuff going on, and we just need to hang out more. So, okay, let's see. Let's get some of these out because I have them right in front of me. What do we want to do? Let me get this back first, and let's pick what do you guys struggle with the most? Maybe that will help me help you in this area. What do you struggle the most with on here? I can say while you guys are answering, something I know that I hear a lot is space for sure, the negative space of something, and deciding where to put things. The other part is composition, which I don't have a sheet on, but we'll talk about it as we go. Mom says abstract. Yeah, okay. So abstract can incorporate lots of those elements of design. And because it's abstract and your brain is like, oh, what's happening? You really have to be strong in those elements and principles of design and composition to make something that is pleasing to the eye. So let's do that. Okay, let's get a paintbrush, a couple of them. I didn't plan anything other than just to talk about it and play. So we're just going to wing it and see what we come up with, which is what I usually do, right? So no big deal. Okay, I have a brayer. That could be fun. Oh, now I can see comments. I just realized that. Good. Let's see. Carol says I struggle with size. Okay, so like large to small, or okay, we can deal with that. So let's play with abstract and size. How about that? We'll do that together. Let's see. I'm thinking. Okay, I'm gonna start here. All right, you guys tell me about your week while I'm getting started here. Catch me up on all the fun things that are going on. So let's see, size and abstract. Okay, I'm just gonna make some marks. When I'm getting started and I have a white piece of paper or whatever it is, whatever the substrate is, sometimes I can be like, oh, I don't even know what to do or where to start. So I just put a color down and I pick a tool and I move the color around. That's cool. Let's get a piece of this kind of paper. So I can kind of clean my brayer. It definitely needs a soak in the bath, but Sarah said hockey season is finally over. That's good. We had 7 games in 3 days last weekend. Holy moly. That's a lot. That's a lot of games. Wow. Well, that'll free up some of your time. So I'm going to dry in between each layer. I'm using, let me show you. I'm using golden fluid acrylics here. I think they're all, no, they're not. These are golden. This is Deco Art, but they're all the same, really. I've got some other colors here, but we can get different colors too. This is not a lot of contrast here. I have some Art by Marlene paint right here. Oops, hold on. I'm just going to grab a couple. Let's see, maybe some yellow. Oh, Dawn's not here. I think she said on Wednesday she has dinner with her son. I wonder if that's still the case. So I've got yellow and white. Let's get some more brighter colors. Okay, let's see. That should be good. I don't know what we're doing. It's just nice to have some variety. Carol said, getting ready to drive to Denver to visit hubby's brother. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, Renee wants lime. Okay. Ooh, do I have lime? Oh, I don't have lime, but I have fluorescent green. Let's see. Do I have lime somewhere? I've got a few things on this table, but not lime, dear. Sorry. But I do have this fluorescent-y green, which is sort of limey. Yes, family dinner. That's what I thought. Okay, so we've got a base. Another really fun way, if you've been watching my daily prompts for the 100-day thing, I've been using the old credit card a lot to move paint around, and that's super fun and easy. Oh, you need to leave. You need to fix dance costumes. Watch the replay. Okay, Carol. Well, it was nice to see you, and come back next week. I think next week I'm going to be on at 6, so it'll be a little later for people that are Central Time. They can, I know this is like a weird time. People are just getting home from work too. Thanks, Renee. Stephanie said, on your 100-day project, when you are putting white through a stencil, is it gesso or a texture paste? I've been enjoying the daily pages. When I put white through a stencil, it's definitely a texture paste. Yeah. The only the things I've been doing lately is if it's white, like using a palette knife and then lifting, it's definitely texture paste. but I also sometimes will put paint down and let it be wet and then use a baby wipe to pick up some of it so you can see what's underneath. And that's another thing I'm doing. And that's pretty much what I've been doing with those. But thank you. That's very sweet. It's fun. It's fun to do it. And I've been really kind of surprised with the response. It's like forced me to do it every single day, which is great. Okay, so we're dealing with size and we're dealing with, excuse me, abstract. So hold on. I'm going to find some stencils that we can use maybe. Ooh. Actually, this might help us only in the interest of time. And look at, I've got some different size circles that can help with the size thing. So maybe we're going to use those. I love those. Thank you, Renee. Yeah, I don't want that. Oh, I also have these smaller circles. Maybe we'll use those. So let's just play with this background a little bit. I'm going to go monochrome with just a little hint of contrast. Okay. So let's see what else, what other color with this? Oh, Renee wanted lime. So let's do a little bit of that. Excuse me. So maybe I want to do this. I think I'm going to end up. Let's see. Maybe I want to. Do I have sorry, I'm trying to find something here. Do I want to do this? I think I do. Oh yeah, that's fun. This is a bit more translucent, but that is pretty, huh? Okay. That's nice. I am going to try to leave this area kind of blank and let it be just open. So far our lines are going this way and this way with solid emphasis here. And we're mainly mid-tone. Blue and green are pretty mid-tone colors. Well, these shades at least. Let's see. Am I good with this? Yeah, I think I am actually. Let's do a little bit darker. All right. We'll go with, what is this one? Turquoise, phthalo turquoise. Gotta watch the time. Okay. I forgot to bring the paper that says what I'm doing each week, but yeah, we're basically gonna talk through like all of the layering of a project. Let me dry this while I'm talking. So right now we're talking about color, composition, elements of design, all that stuff, because that is going to inform like how you're going to build your project, whatever it is. But then we're going to start talking about, like next week, we're going to talk about substrates and paste and things like that. And then another week, we're going to talk about pigments and colors and like, sort of how we build the layers of a mixed media project. So that's my goal. And then by the end of it, we'll be able to build a whole mixed media project together. Okay, what do I want to do with this? This I think I'm going to put on the side. And what if this has a little bit of, oh, do I not have water? I have no water. Just a second. I can fix that. Need to have like a jug of water at my feet here, but I don't today. What else is going on for everybody? Tell me all about all your things. I haven't been live in forever, and I miss you guys. My life is a little bit crazy right now as usual, but really some things changed this week and I've got more on my plate. So and I'm also getting ready for Creativation. Oh my gosh, speaking of that, I got to see something new that's coming out for the Crafters Workshop. I can't tell you what it is, but it's very exciting and beautiful, and I'm excited to use it. I get to use it when I go to Creativation. So I'll definitely do videos from there. It's at the end of the month. And try to show you some new stuff that's going on. If you have any requests, let me know. But then also I'm going to be working in the graphics booth a lot, helping them like do make and takes and stuff. It's going to be super fun. And This poor brush is not in good shape. And they have a new product coming out as well. And I just got it in the mail today to play with it. And I literally cannot tell you what it is, but it's so exciting. I'm like, I got it right before I had to come here, so I didn't even get to use it yet, but I'm really excited to use it. You just got a bunch of stencils and butters from TCW. Ooh, that's exciting, Sarah. Did you get new stuff, new stencils, or what? Tell us about that. Okay, so I do kind of have a line going here, and I want to reinforce it a little bit. So I have this repeating shape, and it's literally just the shape of the brush. And I do this a lot because I love it. I think it's fun and awesome and easy. And I can just take this right down that whole side. And then there's also another tool. And do I have one here? I really should, because oh yeah. Oh, this isn't the right one. But I should have both of them here. I just realized I was going to get these for my art journal folks, but I realized that they don't make them anymore, which is really upsetting. And I need to call Ranger and tell them to make them again, because it's one of my favorite tools ever. Anyway, it's silicone brushes, and this one is round, but there's another one that's flat, and it's my favorite tool. I have two of them actually, and I should have one here and one at home, but I don't see the one here anywhere. But anyway, this is it. And like, let me show you what it does. This one's a little different because it's round, but let's see. Let's go this way this time, and let's create a different line. Yeah, this one is different. Oh, that's fun. It's like a little bit of a tick kind of thing. And this one, I'm just going back and forth, but you can make all different kinds of marks with them. You can also use them. They're silicone. So like if you put down a bunch of paint and then like scribbled through it and pick some of the paint up, you could get some scribbly things going on. These are so fun to use. And I was trying to order them on Ranger's site and I didn't see them. So I was pretty sad. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe people didn't buy them or didn't know how to use them. I don't know, but I'm pretty upset about it. I've been wanting to order you guys some for a while, and I finally was like, oh, I'm going to do it. And then Ranger said, no, you're not. Okay, let's see. Oh, Sarah said, I ordered a mystery box. Ooh, that's exciting. And Jamie tossed in some extras, the stencil butters, and a couple other mixed media products. Well, that's wonderful. Yay. Yeah, they have great products. That's really fun. Okay, I think I want to go off the page up here. But look at how fun and just easy and kind of whimsical that is. We're still abstract. We've got some leading lines going. We're introducing a little bit more contrast here because even though it's analogous, meaning the colors are next to each other on the color wheel, let's just get that right back here. Okay, I'm just going to fold this in half so you can see it while I'm working. 1 second. Here we go. Okay. So let's put this up in the corner so it's just kind of hanging out for you. Okay, so we're working over here, right? So they're analogous colors, but we've got more contrast. We've got white, and we've got a darker bluish green color, turquoisey color. And then we've got our midtone. So we're introducing more contrast. Jackie, hi, how are you? You have to go back and watch the replay. I'm still at work and missed the beginning. That's okay, Jackie. Definitely watch the replay. And next week, I mentioned earlier, but I'm not sure if you heard. So next week, I'm going to be on an hour later. So folks that are like working till 5 or so in Central Time, you will be able to join me live, hopefully, or closer to live anyway. So this week I had to go live early because I have a choir booster meeting after this, but next week I don't have that. I meant for that to stay white. Oh well. I'm just trying to pick up this paint so I don't waste it. Ooh, look how pretty that is. Ooh, I'm liking that a lot. Let's see. This is just going to pick up whatever, but then maybe we can try to make something out of it. Let's get a little bit more water here. Here we go. Sorry. Here we go. Can you hear me again? Okay, we're back for now. I don't understand, but I'm sorry. There. Can you hear me? Okay, yay. Hi, Kenzie. How are you? Thanks for coming to hang out for a minute. Okay. Thank you. I lost internet. Yeah. Carol, hi, how are you? Yeah, I don't know what happened. I lost internet there for a minute on just the one device. So I'm going to switch my screen so you guys can see what's going on here. See this lovely contraption? It's got my phone here, which is showing you the tabletop, and then the other one is showing my face. So that one for some reason went out. So it's been like a day of technology glitches, and it is what it is. Okay, so let's just keep going. I'm back. Yay. Okay. So I saw Jackie said she had to go. What I was saying was next week I'm going to be live at 6 instead of 5 Eastern time. So for those of you that are Central, hopefully that works better for you. This week I couldn't because of Choir Booster. I think that's what I was saying. Oh, and then I was talking about sorry, I was talking about Creativation and going and fun new products coming out. I just got something from Graphics in the mail right before I came here, and I get to go play with it hopefully later tonight or tomorrow morning. So that's exciting. Carol says, I'm a friend of Dawn's. Oh, that's lovely. Well, thanks for coming to hang out with us. We love Dawn, and I'm really glad that you're here. So, okay, so this is still abstract. We've got repeating patterns, right? What else? Let's look at our thing really quick so we don't lose it. Don't lose our terminology. It's helpful to know it. We've got contrast, light to dark, and in the middle. Alignment, not so much. You could say this is sort of alignment, but not really. Definitely repetition and a little bit of proximity, but not as much. We've got leading lines, even though they're not actual lines drawn. This repeating pattern in a row like this does create a leading line for you. And then we've got a little bit of texture because of, the way that we've been putting the paint on with the brayer. Let's see what else. Space. Oh, Carol, who had to leave, she'll be back she'll watch the replay. She said she had an issue with size. So let's deal with that. And I think I got these out to help with that. Okay. So I'm going to cut these down and use this to help finish up this piece here. And are we going to have time? Maybe we'll have time to make one more. Maybe not. So this is printed tissue paper from Dina Wakley, if you guys are familiar with her stuff, and I'm sure you are. Carol, you need to think about coming to Art Retreat. Oh yeah. So anyway, these have nice repeating circles on them. So I'm going to cut them out, and they deal with the size thing that Carol was having an issue with. And I'm going to show you one really common, fun, easy way to deal with size and help you out with that. Let's see. Carol says, when and where is it? Good question. If you go to cassiesparlor.com, and I can even post the link after, it gives you all the details, but it's in the middle of August, and it is 5 days and 4 nights. I'm personally teaching you 11 different art classes. While you're there, you get art swag bag and tons of goodies. Included in the cost is your room and board and all of your food catered, and all the art swag, and I don't need that one. Yeah, everything for your classes, everything is included, and it's in West Michigan. And yeah, mid-August. So I can get you more details, and I'm actually planning to go live to talk about it again pretty soon, probably maybe this weekend or next week. It's been a minute since I talked about it. And we have limited seats. So if people want to go, I want to talk about it again so they don't miss out. Anyway, it's going to be amazing. It's my second one. And yeah, my brain is not in that mode right now to think of all the details, but I'll go live again and talk about the classes too, because they're slightly different classes. Like I know off the top of my head, we're doing, um, what is it? Cyanotype printing. We're doing some eco dyeing with fabric and paper and stuff. So yeah, lots of different fun kind of stuff. Okay, so here we've got, let me move that out of the way. I don't need those right now. I just really want to deal with these circles. And I don't mind a little bit extra, but mainly I want the circles. And I like to have, if you're going to use this tissue paper, I like to have a raw jagged edge as much as I can. It just seems to like meld with the paper a little bit better and kind of blend in and not stand out so much. So I'm going to place these, decide where they're going to go. Let's talk about sizing for just a minute. When you're going to have a larger shape or object and a smaller shape or object, the larger the object, the heavier it is, just in general for your eyes to look at. So generally, and of course, you can, you know, there's always a reason to break rules, right? So when I say all these things, it's like, this is the general rule. And then once you understand them and you can use them in the way that fits you, then you can break those rules and still make really cool art, right? But just to get started and in general, if you have a larger shape, you tend to want it to be closer to the bottom of your layout because it's heavier. So let me just show you this. Okay, so let's say we've got, well, actually, I was thinking like this maybe. So we've got the largest one at the bottom, then the medium, then the small, and they kind of make an arc. Okay, so that is still a leading line, even though it's not a straight line, it's an arc, and this is leading you with the repetition of the circles and the color and the tone, all that. It's leading you up the page. And then these are supporting cast, right? Supporting characters, whatever, because this is also leading you around. So the things you put behind your focal point, even though this is an abstract, this could be the focal point, doesn't have to be. But having the things behind it, helping your eye move around, and then having that repeating bold pattern on top, helping your eye move around, and then having it be different sizes. If they were all the same size, it would be more imbalanced, actually. So that's that. So let's just try it the other way. Let's put the big one at the top and this one here and this one here. How does that feel for you? Does that work? Thank you. Does that work? Does it feel off or weird or like it's not, you know, like let's talk about what we're seeing and feeling with it. To me, this feels heavy up here because it's the bigger piece. It's you know, the line, these are further apart now. So remember that proximity thing I was talking about? So let's get that circle really quick. So this proximity, right? When we look at this one and they're closer together, it makes the line. And when we look at this, they're 3 separate dots. It's because of proximity. These feel further apart now because of the way that they're laid out. So they no longer make a line as much as they are just 3 chunks of something that are kind of just hanging out and feeling lopsided and weird. Yeah, Stephanie said top heavy, definitely top heavy. But I just want to give you that visual so you can understand, like if you're working on something, you're like, oh, it's just not quite right. Like what's going on? Just go, you know, think about, okay, do I have any repeating shapes? Where are they? Are they, you know, are they following the rules of having the bigger one on the bottom? Just when you're getting started, just follow the rules and learn the way. And then you can break the rules later, okay? I love breaking the rules, I really do. But sometimes you just got to follow them for a little bit while you get started. Okay, so if we put it back this way, now these two are closer than this one, right? So you could argue that this is a line and then this is a separate piece. And I could agree with that. But I can also see it as this because the pattern is repeating. So hopefully that helps and makes sense. I'm going to use Mod Podge Ultra to stick it all together. This is definitely a must-have for anyone that uses tissue or what am I thinking of? Napkins, or anything like that on your mixed media pages. It really is amazing and it works so great. I make sure and put some below and above. And then I've been using my finger. You can use whatever, a paintbrush, whatever, to flatten it out. Just be careful. This tissue paper from Dina doesn't really move very much. So, and it's not super sensitive. So you don't have to be as careful with it. It's not going to tear as easily. I'm just like soaking up the excess of that. But if you're using like a napkin or something like that, you do want to be careful that you're not, I think I want it to go this way actually. Okay, so I'm being careful to have them be kind of close to each other, but still have a little bit of space. Okay, and then I also really like for at least one of the shapes to go off of the edge of the page. If everything is contained within the frame of the substrate or the paper or whatever you're using, right? It tends to box you in and it is too constricting for your eye to move around. But if you have one or more things slightly off where the shape isn't totally complete because it's fallen off the edge of the page, that just makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay, doesn't mean you always have to do it. It's just one of those things that if you're struggling or if you're like, oh, it's just not quite right, I don't know how to make it better or change it, whatever. These are some things that I recommend that can really give you success like right away, Okay, does all of this make sense? And do you see what I'm trying to show you? Or do you have questions? Or are you feeling like, oh, yeah, I don't understand what you're saying? Because I just want to make sure that I'm explaining it in a way that everybody can understand. Let me dry this while you... Yeah, thank you. I know what time it is, and I appreciate you telling me, but I do have a few more minutes, so we can wrap up. But thank you so much for keeping me on track. Okay, so Carol, I know you're not here, but the other Carol, but this is something with size that really, if you're struggling with it, I would say use a repeating pattern, have 3 of them or an odd number, okay, 3 or 5, whatever, and try to space them out so they make an interesting arc or a straight line, a leading line, something like that, and just play with that for a little bit until you get the hang of it, and then you can try something else. Okay, that's another thing I try to tell people that are just sort of getting a handle on composition and design and all of that. It's like pick one of them and then do it for a long time. Do you ever hear about artists having like studies in a certain thing? Like, oh gosh, let me think. Picasso had his blue series because he was studying the color blue and all the shades and tones of it. And he literally would make paintings that were just blue because he was just practicing and learning all about it. It's the same thing with all of it. If you're like, I struggle with size, then make a bunch of pieces of art. Just get some paper and start working on it and play with size. Make them all big, make them all small, put them in a straight line, scatter them around, and then you'll start to see what works for you and what doesn't, and what feels good and what doesn't. And then and that's sort of also how you develop your style, Okay, I'm just flattening that paper out. I think we're in pretty good shape. I like this quite a bit. What do you guys think so far? I was going to add some contrasting color, but I also just kind of like it the way it is. What if, for a little bit of contrast, what if I just add some neon red, pink and outline those circles a little bit? let's see what that does. So first look at this. Okay. How does it feel? How's it flow? What does the color do for you? What do the shapes and the patterns do for you? Okay. And now I'm just going to add, whoa, baby. I just put some crazy contrast in here. And because I want to reinforce this, because you don't want to just have that pink there and then literally nowhere else. You like it as it is. Thank you, Carol. And I just went and changed it up, didn't I? I just want to show you all the ways. So if you like it the other way, think about why you like it that way. Do you like the colors and the calmness? Do you like the calmness with the contrast of the dynamic shapes and leading line and pattern? You know, what is it about it that you really like? And just sort of study that. All right. So I'm going to bring this close up so you can see what I've done here. I am keeping this part as white as I can, but now I added a little bit of pink, sprinkled it here and there. Okay, let me get close. Here we go. Sprinkled it here and there, but in a repeat. And it goes all the way down. So it follows that same line. You notice I'm not putting a bunch over here because, you know, this isn't where it is. The leading line is here. We want to reinforce that so people look at it. And we've just created some pretty major contrast here with color instead of with tone. The tone contrast was the dark turquoise to the light to the white. That's a contrast, but it's different. This contrast is the pink to the green and blue because they're on opposite sides of the color wheel. Okay, so there's two different kinds of contrast going on in this one. Okay, I hope that all makes sense, and I hope this was fun for you and you learned something. Let me switch the screen just so I can say bye and read your comments really quick. Can I get there? Yes, I can. Okay, move that out of the way so I can see you. Okay, let's see. Good information, great info. Thank you. Thank you. The pink looks great with it. Thank you. I like it. I mean, you know, I love pink and I love contrast. So yes, but I did also like it before. I really did. Yes, thought it was calming, staying with cool tones. Definitely. That is one way. It's great to see you. It's great to chat with you guys. I can't see you, of course, unfortunately, but yeah, it was really great to see you guys too and to hang out a little bit. And again, I'll be here next Wednesday at 6 p.m. We're going to play more with, we're going to take all the things we learned today and just take it to the next step. We're going to talk about substrates and different pastes and things like that, and why we use different things, and make something else fun. So I'm so glad you guys got to come and hang out, and I love you. And thanks so much, and happy National Craft Month. And I'll see you next Wednesday at 6. And actually, I forgot, I will see you sooner than that to talk about the art retreat. So if you or anyone you know wants to learn more about it, or you have questions, or you're on the fence, or you're thinking about it, whatever, I'll post the event in Cassie's Parlor Facebook, and I'll do a live like this on YouTube and Facebook so people can join both places. And then come and bring your questions so I can answer them for you, okay? Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.